Forge Gang! Let's go! Alright, this is Warhammer. And I am coming right back at ya with the death of every Cell Jr. The death of every Cell Juniors. So, about midway through the Cell games in the Cell arc, Goku is a full power Super Saiyan, or a mastered Super Saiyan. He is trained for 1 year in the Room of Spirit and Time, and right in the middle of the fight, Goku forfeits the fight. He admits that he is weaker than Cell is. Then Gohan, who is also a full-power Super Saiyan, or a mastered Super Saiyan, steps in, takes off his cape, powers up tremendously, and demonstrates the incredible potential of his power, and begins to fight Cell. However, in spite of this, the fight goes nowhere. Cell fires a ki blast that destroys all of the cameras and recording devices to where the entire world, which had been up to that point watching the events of the Cell games. And now the entire world was blacked out on what was actually happening. Android number 16 tried to blow himself up with Cell, but he couldn't do so because Bulma deactivated the self-destruct device that the android had on him. Cell destroyed android number 16's body, and then went into a strange dancing routine, as if he was putting on an Indian rain dance. Then his tail, the back end of his tail, where he absorbed number 17 and number 18, grew large and turned almost into a giant pod, and he released 7 objects out. These 7 blue objects then came to and grew into the Cell Juniors. The 7 Cell Juniors each possessed all of the abilities and powers and potential of Cell. Cell used the Cell Juniors with their genetic modified superpower potential to attack the Z-Fighters, Prince Vegeta, Son Goku, Ten Shenhan, Yamcha, Kululin, Future Trunks, and so forth. Cell was going to use these Cell Juniors to force Gohan to wake up his dormant potential. And when the lives of his friends were at stake, Gohan started to quake. His dormant hidden power awoke. And when the head of number 16 was crushed, all his dormant power came to, and he transformed into a Super Saiyan 2. The power of Super Saiyan beyond Super Saiyan. Super Saiyan 2. Cell sent the Cell Juniors to fight Gohan. Gohan grabbed the bag of Senzu beans and gave them to Future Trunks. Gohan began a brutal fight with the Cell Juniors. One Cell Junior came at him, and instantly, when Gohan even punched him, he exploded and was destroyed and killed instantly. The other 6 Cell Juniors became very squirmish. They began firing different techniques. The Destructo Disc, the Kamehameha, the Masenko, the Maken Kasapo, the Big Bang Attack, the Final Flash. All of the various techniques of the Z-Fighters that Cell had inherited through gaining their genes and it then passed down unto his offspring, the Cell Juniors. But in spite of all the ferocity and the power that the Cell Juniors could muster, Gohan killed them all brutally and savagely and mercilessly, one after another, until none stood on the ground. All 7 were annihilated by Gohan. And thus that was the end of the Cell Juniors. Now, because the Cell Juniors were being controlled or mind-controlled by Cell, they could have regenerated after Cell was destroyed, or brought back to life by the first wish of the Earth Dragon Balls after the Cell games. In the Dragon Ball Super manga special chapter by Toyotaro from 2018 and 2019, Goten and Trunks are hired as park rangers by android number 17, and while he goes off to fight in the Tournament of Power, Goten and Trunks are shown fighting and training with the Cell Juniors, who had apparently either regenerated or had been brought back to life by the Dragon Balls after the Cell arc. Also, when Kid Buu, or the original Majin Buu, destroyed and blew up the Earth, these Cell Juniors were killed by the explosion. They were brought back to life by the second wish of the Namekian Dragon Balls, which had been used to resurrect all the people who had died since the morning of the 25th Tenkaichi Budokai, other than those who had died of natural causes or who were evil. In Resurrection F, when Frieza destroyed the Earth, the Cell Juniors also died, but Whis reversed the flow of time. In Dragon Ball Z, the Rebirth of Fusion, Goku and Vegeta, the Cell Juniors escape from Hell because of the demon god Janemba. They are killed by Goten, Trunks, Gotenks, Gohan, Saiyaman, and Videl and sent back to Hell. In the Dragon Ball GT Super Number 17 arc, they escape from Hell and begin attacking and killing and wiping out innocent civilians. But Oob, or Majoob, Goten, Trunks, Gotenks, Pan, Gohan, Vegeta, etc., kill the Cell Juniors and send them back to Hell, all 7 of them, in a repeat of what had happened in the Cell games. And so, that is the history of every death of the Cell Juniors, the demented, evil, sickening offspring of Cell.